So the food industry is, before COVID, was estimated this year to do $899 billion, capital B with the B, right? And if you look at just the volume of the foods that we consume, this goes out to 2025. See how it's steadily, there's a steady growth, right? So we eat a lot. It's even when, if you look at just the top industries in the US, food is one of the top industries that add to the GDP, right? So overall, there's just, food is big business. And so we have to be very considerate about knowing, part of the supply chain is knowing what kind of market you're in. So it is big business. How does that all play in? We're going to first focus on people, right? Because it all starts with people. We got in business to service people. So people, the US population is expected to reach 440 million people by 2050. The global population is projected to reach over 9 billion in the next 40 years. So what does that mean for you? That means food needs are going to increase as population expands. At the same time, the resources available to grow and produce the food are going to decline due to non-farming related need of human beings, land to live on, water to drink, fuel to drive, et cetera, right? And then of course the fun meme here, when people ask when I want to eat, every day, all day, anywhere, anytime. Again, food is big business. There's a lot of us and there's a lot of moving pieces. We love to eat. That just, I mean, it helps us feel comfortable and so many other things, but you have to understand the facts about, why you got into business. So another thing is just to understand, again, we're going to start all tying this together. So I'm telling a story here, so just stick with me. So fact, the estimated carrying capacity of land, which is also known as the estimated amount of land required to just maintain American standards of eating, is about 1.2 acres, right? So I put a picture here just so you can get a visual of what that means, right? Therefore, what that means is Americans will either need to significantly decrease or alter our food intake, change our food production practices, or pay more for food in the coming decades. One of the things you're going to see in this presentation is trends. You have to be cognizant of the trends. You need to know what market you're in, because the market, what you don't want to do is be operating one market and then it changes and then you're not up to speed with it. So you always want to be paying attention to trends and what things are doing. So if the existing consumption and land use trends continues, researchers are actually saying that they forecast that the United States will likely cease to be a food exporter by 2025, as all food grown in the United States will be needed for domestic consumption. Again, another trend. You guys can write these down or look at this later. An example of this is for China, right? So China used to produce enough corn and cereal products to meet its own needs. Today, it must import many of their commodities to meet the demand. And I've put here, right, what does that mean, right? So China's 10 food and beverage imports from who they actually partner with, right? So EU, USA. So just be cognizant again of what kind of market that we're in. And so back to just validating the point, we're going to show farmers a lot of love because that's where supply chain all starts. So if we just pay attention to, again, the farm value versus the total value, these are things that if you notice how the farm value, right? And if you talk to farmers, it's something that's steadily, it's decreasing, right? But then the market, it's still going up. So we have to be mindful of that. So we talk about people, we know how many people, what do we actually eat, right? So the average American consumes just under 2,000 pounds of food per year. I put respectively all of the things that we've eaten, right? Dairy products, vegetables, fruit, meat and non-dairy, animal products, again, vegetables, fruits. And so just these are all the things that we consume on a daily basis, just so you can get an idea again of who you're servicing. You have to get very comfortable with knowing who your audience is. Of course, let's not leave out French fries, pizza, and ice cream, which I love. So these are just some of the facts as to what we eat today. Again, the food supply chain, just understanding, and look how it's very similar to the food pyramid, right? So just you versus like what it takes to feed that one person.